Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We are going to focus a little bit more in depth on how to really handle toxic family members, toxic spouses, toxic work environments during the holidays. It's becoming very evident to me that a number of people are suffering at this time of year because of different family spats, different work issues, relationships with people who they thought they were going to be dating with at this time of year, and they're just not there. The quality of their lives are just really suffering right now. So I want to give you some very specific tools in trying to handle this time of year and how to really handle those toxic narcissist people who are more ego-driven, more fear-based, who are giving you a lot of anxiety, a lot of guilt, a lot of obligation. Basically, they're just not giving you the love. And you are really, in family, we don't choose our families. We are born into our families, and we have to experience gratitude for them. We have to furthermore realize that we cannot change who they are. If we have family members who are narcissistic, psychopathic, toxic in nature, emotionally abusive, physically abusive, psychologically abusive, in all these different stratums, you have to realize that this is probably the way that they're going to be. And until they own up to the fact that they have hurt people and that they wish to change, they probably will not change. In fact, one of the hallmark qualities of the narcissist is they feel a heightened sense of self-importance, and then coupled with a lack of empathy. So they really are not able to see, understand, and relate to the feelings, needs, wishes of others. They're not able to hear them. They're not able to hear where they're coming from. They're not able to understand kind of their life story. They're not really able to understand them as a person. They're not able to appreciate who they are. And furthermore, they're not able to mirror back healthfully who they are. So they're lacking in this trait. They're lacking in this quality. So if you can understand that this occurs physiologically in the brain center itself, and the brains, the brainwave patterns, the activity that is responsible for empathy is showed to be reduced in size in those people who present with narcissistic tendencies. So really, it is a disability, if you will. It is a handicap. If you can imagine that this person is basically handicapped, crippled in this manner, and you cannot change them. They are not capable of changing themselves. And furthermore, they don't own the fact that they have hurt anybody. In fact, they feel very much to the contrary. They feel very righteous in their standpoint. They feel that they are correct in the way that they've treated people. They don't see where they've crossed people's boundaries. They don't realize that the criticism is extreme. They don't realize that their acts of rage and hostility ripple out into a number of hurtful ways. They're not able to see that. Just like a blind person is not able to see their physical life. Just like you would not get angry at a blind person for walking into a wall, you would not shame them for walking into a piece of furniture if they did not have their walking stick. Likewise, you cannot fault and be angry at a narcissistic individual for shaming you, blaming you, scapegoating you. This is just who they are. It is a handicap. It is a character disorder. It is a perception that they live by. And we cannot influence and impact them to be really other than what they are. Just like if you were to take this blind person and say, I'm now responsible. I'm going to have to come up with some sort of surgery to give this person eyesight. I mean, chances are this is above and beyond our capabilities. Likewise, you cannot put pressure on a narcissistic, blaming, psychopathic, likewise individual for being other than who they are, because this is who they are. So you cannot change them, just like you can't change the blind person. You don't have the ability to perform surgery on them, do a transplant, whatever it would be that would give them sight. You cannot do that for them. You cannot change for them. All you can do is protect yourself, and realize it's so important to declare your boundaries and to declare that enough is enough. You're not going to be throwing yourself to the lion, to the predator, to the selfish. You're not throwing yourself in their den. You're not throwing themselves in the environment where they exist. They are the way that they're going to be. Chances are they're never going to change. And the pressure for you to delude yourself, feeling like you could perhaps change them, is going to be an exercise of struggle and futility for yourself. So you can't be angry at them for being the way that they are. You can't judge them for the way that they are. This is how they are. This is how perhaps they came into life. This is how they have decided to live their life and conduct their life. And if they are trying to blame, scapegoat you, talk about you behind your back, insult you, that is how they're getting their elevated power. This is how they're feeling superior. They can basically get the power of 10 by the smear campaigns, by being judgmental, by being haughty, by being arrogant, by shutting you out. It gives them a sense of superiority. That is the only reason, and you can't take it personally. You cannot, just like if a person was blind and they accidentally bumped into you and, hey, look where you're going. I mean, to be angry at them, would it be an error on your part because that person was blind? They could not help themselves. Likewise, the narcissistic abuser, the psychopathic abuser, they cannot help themselves. They choose not to help themselves. In fact, they don't feel like they have done anything wrong. So they are, you can only change that which you're aware of. So that's why it's so important that you build awareness. That's the whole goal of this channel here, is to raise your awareness, or raise your perception, or raise up your perspective and your perception of what is going on. And realize that if they're coming out of ego, blaming, shaming, scapegoating, insulting, they're coming from ego, they're coming out of fear. And when you really begin to understand this, you can either come out of a state of fear, or you can come out of a state of love. And fear leads to ego, love leads to gratitude. Love leads to gratitude and experience of the awe, the miraculous, the awesome, and develops you in your highest self, where you're coming from, your highest energy self, where your energy is flowing and you're not blocked by anxiety, fear, guilt, shame, things of this nature, because you've let go of those erroneous messages, those erroneous thoughts, which are thrust onto you by a fear-based person. So just like if you were to be at combat for war, and you were to be within one country, and you were to go to the enemy and say, I need you to help me, I need you to listen to where I'm coming from, that would be an error. Just like when you confront the narcissist, just like when you confront the psychopath, you don't go to the enemy and say, look, I have a problem with you. Look, I need you to hear from where I'm coming out. The enemy would be like, they would just one off you. I mean, you don't want to walk into the arms of the enemy and try to rectify. You don't want to get caught up in that toxic, blaming, shaming, complaining about the narcissist to other people. You just need to stop. Let it go. Let go of your need to complain and talk about the narcissist, because as you do, you're wasting your precious time when you could be developing yourself, refining your personal strength, your sense of personal empowerment that is coming from your gut, where you state your I am. I am magnificent. I am love. I am inspiration. I am awe. I am miraculous. If you can really experience that feeling and allow yourself, your body to experience this, once you are able to begin your affirmations and allow that to resonate within your body, you're going to let go of the toxicity. I am gratitude. I allow gratitude to flow through me now. I now allow the miraculous to flow through me now. I now allow it to take away my pain. I now allow the miraculous to take away my pain, my aches, my feeling of fear. I release it now. And as you can do that, you can begin to feel the energy flow back through your body. But the minute you say, I'm afraid, I'm afraid, I'm afraid, you can feel the clenching up in your hips. You can feel the clenching up in your shoulders. If you continue to say to yourself, I hate this, I hate that, you're sending a negative energy out into your environment, but furthermore, you're sending it out into your body. You don't want to give your body that message. It creates a foundation of degenerative cellular processes. It creates a very much an acidic area in the body. It creates a very acidic environment in the body, which causes a lot of stomach issues, digestive issues, appetite issues, sleep issues, anxiety, which is feeling of constantly being in fear. And you need to let go of these emotions. You need to release them and let them go and say, you know what? This is no longer serving me. I am done. I am so done with this. I'm now releasing the anxiety, and I'm now allowing myself to feel it dissipating. Like Elvis leaving the building, anxiety is leaving me now. There's no dwelling place for you here. There's no dwelling place for hate. I'm now releasing that, and I'm now earning my own self-trust. I'm now earning my own gratitude, and I'm allowing gratitude to drive and permeate my body, and I'm allowing gratitude to really extend out into all of my daily activities. And I'm going to keep gratitude in mind with everything that I do. And even if I have to constantly remind myself, if you have to pick up a piece of paper and write out, I have so much gratitude for my life, with a smiley face written with a highlighter, and if you were to look at that, that will reflect back to you the gratitude that you need to see in your life. In fact, studies have shown that even just having one of those happy emojis, one of those smiley faces that you see on the Jeep, even just posting those in people's workspace creates a more positive, uplifting, and strength-based, productive atmosphere. And you don't see as much of the, gossiping, the negative, low morale. It's very, very powerful affirmations and positive images. So that's why why it's so important to surround yourself with positive art, positive food, positive scents, positive sensations that all feed all of your senses, really fill up the well of your need for positive self-reflection or self-mirroring that the toxic person is not capable of giving you. Just like a deaf person is not capable of hearing you, you can't fault them for their lack of hearing. They were born that way. And so hitherto it would be an exercise of futility to yell at them and be mad at them for being deaf. And likewise, it would be ineffective. You have to look at really your argumentative or need to have closure or understanding from a narcissist or psychopathic individual, because they don't have the ability to really understand where you're coming from. There's not going to be this meeting in the middle where you come together and agree and say, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Let's shake hands and let's make up and let's, continue, happily on ever after. The narcissist and psychopath, by all means, are not able to do that. They are not able. So to expect any different from them is going to be an exercise of futility, and it's only going to lead to extreme suffering, anxiety, depression, and feeling of worthlessness in you. So let go the need to arrive at a closure or coming together of terms, or, why did you do this to me? Why can't things be different? It is the way that they are. Especially if they're older in their life, if they're in their 60s, 70s, 80s, it's going to be difficult. You got to give these people a break. I mean, someone who's in their 80s or 90s, they're not going to be able to change, and for you to, have hurtful, conversations with them is going to not be well received, because first of all, the mind, really the executive decision-making skills, the thought processes, as people get older, they're not as sharp. They're not as able to hold conversations. So to try to do that to an older person, I think you would maybe want to refrain from that. It won't get you where you want to go. You just have to, really in a meditative, mindful state, own your truth and your love that you have for them. Realize you have so much gratitude that they were able to bring you into this world and provide you with what they did provide, knowing that they did the best that they could, and letting them go in all their humanness, all their glory, and all their shortcomings, and realizing that you love and embrace them for all that they are, but you let them go in love and light. Just let them go. No longer allow them to come into your personal space. You do own personal real estate in this life, which is your body. You own your emotional real estate. You own your psychological real estate. It's very important that you prune away the dead, the damage, that which isn't serving you, the toxic activities, the toxic dwelling, surrounding yourself with people who are going to insult and berate you and not mirror back to you the wonderful person that you are. You need to let these people go. And I always, when I talk about the seriousness of it, I think a lot of people don't understand how very serious it is when I state that. And yes, it's difficult. I understand absolutely unequivocally how difficult it is. But really, it does come down to sometimes a life or death matter, a health or diseased matter. It really becomes that important. So realize that the narcissist, in their heightened need for self-importance and their lack of ability to have empathy, which results in all the talking about people behind their back, the gossiping, all that incredulous stuff, their self-righteousness, that is embodied in who they, that is embodied in who they are. You are a separate individual with a different set of values, a different set of emotions, a different set of authenticity, which you need to give yourself full permission to live in those values and not be inundated or allow yourself to be inundated with their insults. You don't need that. It's not serving you, so let them go. And own your own psychological real estate. Own your own emotional real estate. Own your own physical real estate, which is your body. Take care of it. Be gentle to yourself. Forgive yourself for ever feeling less than, and forgive yourself for not knowing that this was the cycle that the narcissist had perpetuated in your life, and forgive yourself for reacting to them in a hostile and negative way. Forgiving, saying, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to engage in this toxic exchange of energy. That's not where I want to be. I've had enough. I refuse to go there. And now every time that comes up, I'm going to come back to center. I'm going to get in touch with my solar plexus. Give yourself a pat on the stomach. It's right here. Give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself, own yourself, own your perspective, and detach from that person. And furthermore, fill your well with the positive, that which you embrace and love and enjoy about life, and keep your interests going, keep your vision of the future going, where you want to go, where you want to be, and really what you need. And what you need is to detach from these people. Declare the boundaries. I've had enough. Enough is enough. I'm now picking up my life, the pieces, and I'm going after what I want. And I'm going to furthermore write these down. I think it's very cathartic to write things down, get it on paper so you can refer to it, and then keep yourself on track. Getting yourself a calendar, getting yourself a new date book, and fill yourself in with, allow yourself to surf the net for a while and find places that you want to go. Even if it's a country drive, even if it's a country walk, maybe it's going to a city to experience the holidays in your own manner. Getting yourself a new pair of walking boots, getting out and meeting new people. Even if it's just out and about, getting yourself a chance to take in new scenery, fill the well with new images, sights, sounds, which are positive in nature, all the great aspects of life, which are truly incredible. Finding a mentor, someone who you really appreciate and look up to in life, going to a bookstore and reading about these people. Fill yourself up with the positive and keep it in front of you at all times. And as you do that, you'll really begin to increase that focus and allow that toxicity to fall away. And engage with your family. If they're toxic, you really have to love them and let them go for the way that they are. But furthermore, celebrate the holidays and your connection to the greater part of life, and know deep in your heart that you have made a positive and profound impact in other people's lives that you don't even know. Give yourself credit for being a lovely, gorgeous, worthwhile human being, and bring that into your holiday celebration, and don't let the sort of narcissistic doldrums get you down. peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share, please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.